Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A pleasure to have you here for the London Film Festival. Maybe we can begin with a brief introduction to How to Have Sex. What can people expect when they watch it?
Oh, I think it's a journey. Like I think it starts really upbeat and exciting, and I think people expect the unexpected in essence.
Yeah, it's a real roller coaster. I think you feel like you're on that night out.
Yeah, you're with the girls the whole time.
Yeah, I think it's very fast paced, and yeah, just strap in.
And as a British millennial, it's all very familiar to me, but it made me realise I don't think I've ever seen this captured on screen in this way. When you first read Molly's script, what really grabbed you and what excited you about getting board with the project?
There was a line for me in the script that it was in a scene where like the girls are dancing in the club, and they're all like on a higher platform, and it says something like they were the queens of the night. And I remember being like that feeling alone. I was like, I'm doing this. I'm like, I want to be a part of this. Yeah, I think it was that, just that this has never been seen in film before, and it's English and it's raw and genuine and true. So it needs to be seen.
Yeah, I think there's like obviously the script and the story that's really compelling, but then there's also Molly as like a creative. She felt like really exciting to be working with, and so the two together was like, it just kind of knew tonally that it was going to be raw and brave and honest, and so it felt like a good challenge to go for.
And in terms of the authenticity, it's not just the setting and the clothes and everything else, but also this female friendship. Like, it feels so real and so lived in, you know, particularly, and that very particular dynamic that can be between female friends.
Yeah.
How did you see each of your characters, and I guess getting that dynamic so well between you and with Mia as well?
I think all of us at some point have been Tara and Sky, so I think it was really kind of easy to navigate the friendship in that sense, because I think we've all had the friend who's a little bit like overbearing, a little bit bossy. We've all had the friend who's kind of doesn't know what's right or wrong in the situation. Then we've all had the friend who's kind of just floating between. So I think navigating it felt really natural to do.
I think, yeah, also like they are kind of also different, but bonded by this one thing at the same time. And I think actually, like, as the story goes on, the dynamics and the roles that they each play shift.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like, you know, the dance they've been doing as a trio then becomes like this new dance, and everyone's learning the new dance steps. It's like there's definitely a journey and a change that goes on.
It's very reminiscent of those relationships you have when you're like 16, 17, like when you're kind of growing into your own person.
Yeah.
And it's so well done. I mean, it almost feels like it could be a documentary at some point. It's just like, and reading about how much, you know, thought had gone into the costumes, having all the extras there, really making it feel like it was high season, even though it was low season. Yeah. What was it like being on that set, and what were some of the high points and maybe the difficult moments too?
I think like the kind of like catch-22 of it is like, we are away and we're all like high energy on this resort. Yeah. We're in Malia, and it's like when you're up, but then at the same time we're all literally living more or less the life of the characters, living on the strip and in these hotels. And like, I think because we were improvising a lot, like you kind of are always on. So I'd say like we worked hard. We did like and so
yeah, I think Molly put in so much work before we even came on board that it did feel like a documentary. So when you got there, it just felt like you were stepping into that world. Like it, to me, it's semi-unfamiliar. So to get there and have all of that stuff around me was like the easiest thing, just to jump straight into it.
Yeah.
And in terms of the takeaways, I think what's so brilliant about it, it really does capture the fun and the joy and the inhibitions of being on that kind of holiday. But it also is obviously delving in to the dark side and prompting those conversations to think about consent and the pressure put on women, but also, you know, for men to also be like having that moment of reckoning. So why do you think the film might be important in that sense?
I think for like both women and men, I think there's a lot targeted at women to be aware of themselves and to get to know themselves and their bodies and how they work and what they're comfortable with. And I don't think that's ever thrown out to men in that sense. I don't ever think it's really offered in that sense. And I think what Molly's done is really, really beautiful, because as much as it's a story about Tara and about women, it also asks questions to men and asks questions to the audience as a whole, rather than just singling out a sex or a group in any sense. It asks everyone, like what is your relationship with sex? Like, how do you have sex in essence? So yeah, I think it's a very, she left it very, very open, which is very nice.
Okay. I can't top that answer. Emma did that so well. Yeah, I think it is just the question, you know, we need to be having bigger conversations, I think, about consent and how we go about sex. And I think things are changing, and there are more open
this is
ears
proof,
to it.
isn't
And yeah, hopefully, I think, you know, Molly wants to try and get this to younger audiences as much as possible, to try and, like, you know, I guess start these conversations a bit more. Let's not make it a taboo. Let's
talk about sex.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with me. And like you say, really important film. Can't wait for everyone else to have a chance to see it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.